The title of today's message is You Already Have It. You already have it. The prophet asked the widow in 2 Kings 4, what do you have? He asked, what do you have in your house? And she said, I have nothing except a little oil. Now, this story in 2 Kings 4 is so powerful. The widow was a widow from one of the sons of the prophets who died. The creditors wanted to take her sons as slaves to pay off debt. She runs into Elisha and shares the need. And then again, Elisha says, what do you have in your house? What do you have? It's interesting. She started off by saying, I have nothing. But then she thought, no, I do have something. I have nothing except a little oil. Now, what happens when we come under the influence of the prophetic in our life, the prophetic ministry, which is explained so well in 1 Corinthians 14, actually, it says in verse 1 that of all the spiritual gifts, we're especially to pursue learning to prophesy. Now, New Testament prophecy is certainly different than Old Testament. We're all called to prophesy. We all have the gift of prophecy. We may not all be prophets, but we can prophesy. And the gift of prophecy in 1 Corinthians 14:3 is encouraging. It tells us it edifies, builds up, comforts. It is encouraging. Now, again, when we come under the prophetic influence, healthy prophetic influence, it helps us take our eyes off of what we think we don't have to actually see what we do have. Now, it's so powerful. I have nothing except. Now, the accuser of the brethren, the devil, he's a deceiver. He's the father of all lies. He wants us to fixate and focus on and dwell on what we think we don't have. We don't have enough intelligence. We don't have enough good looks. We don't have enough money. We don't have enough love for God. We don't have enough favor in our city. We don't have enough physical strength. But people who are going to go to the next level, they are not going to focus and fixate on their weaknesses, what is missing from their life, what went wrong in the past, and what they think they should be, focusing on what they think they're not. Now, I'm not saying we're not going to work on our weaknesses, not get strategies to improve ourselves. But here's the revelation. When we get the revelation that we already have it, we already have it. Now, this is a word for you. This is a word for me. You do already have it. It may seem small, like the widow's oil. If you read the story, and she had a little oil, and the prophet said, "Hey, go borrow vessels, as many as you can." She and her sons did that, and the oil kept multiplying. God is multiplying the small things that we have that we give him. And what happened there is that the prophet said, pay off your debt and live off of the rest. We already have it. We think about the story of the feeding of the 5,000, and it seemed like they didn't have it. They didn't have enough. But yet, a small amount of fish, a small amount of bread, it was enough. They already had it. They already had it. The Israelites in 1 Samuel 17, thinking with Goliath coming out for 40 days, spewing his taunts, his lies, morning and evening, it seemed like they didn't have it, but they already had it as a nation. Our nations already have it. Our families already have it. Our churches already have it. Our cities already have it. And David, they had it in a small teenager named David. You already have it. The people that you need, they're already there. So what we do is we think about, well, what do we have? What are our advantages? Here's some examples. I'm good at listening. I'm good at bouncing back from adversity. I have a gift of encouragement. I have a good job. I have a home. I have a car. I have a good sense of humor. What do you have? I have an advantage in living in the nation I live in. I have the promises of God. I am who God says I am. I am a good cook. Once we're able to identify what we have, what we're good at, what skills that we have, then we realize that it is in that the Lord is going to multiply and not only help us get out of a debt mentality and a debt situation in our finances, our relationships, in our health, in our influence, whatever. He's going to get us out of that. And there's going to be much left over. When we attach faith to what we have, something happens. I've shared as a young leader, I said, Lord, I can't wait until I do something great for you. And he said, instead of waiting to do something great, why don't you attach great faith to who you are and what you're doing now, and it will become great. And when we dedicate what we have to the Lord and say, God, I want everything in my life to be for your glory, something supernatural happens to meet needs. The needs seem so big, just like the 5,000. The needs are overwhelming. The needs of society, the needs of families, the needs of nations seem so massive. And the Lord is asking you and I, what do you have? What do you have? I believe right now that in this prophetic podcast, because again, the purpose of prophetic ministry is to help take our eyes off of what we think we don't have, what we think we're at a disadvantage about, and put our eyes on what we actually do have. I believe that in this podcast, there's a grace being released for you to see what you have, to put faith in what you have, no matter how small it is. She says, I have nothing except a little oil. Like I just got a little something. You may feel you just got a little something, a little idea, a little gift, a little business, a little revelation, a little love, a little kindness, a little generosity. Whatever it is, I believe the Lord's going to multiply it. You already have it. It's already happening. John 4:35, Jesus said this, do you not say 4 months and then the harvest? But I said, you look up and see. The fields are white for harvest. He says, you say it's not happening yet, but I say it already is happening. There's something for you to partner with. Look up and see, the fields are white. There's something, it's already happening in your home. It's already happening in your city. It's already happening in your neighborhood. You've already got it. You already have it. And I see you not only living this out and just say, man, thank you for this gift I've got. Thank you for this ability. Thank you for this education. Thank you for this possession. Thank you for this habit that I have. Thank you for this unique quality that I have. Thank you. And as we're able to thank him and recognize it, something powerful is going to happen. You already have it. It's already happening. Woo-hoo. I love it. Hey, let me just tell you some things coming up at Igniting Hope Ministries. I'm recording this at the beginning of April 2025, and in about a week and a half, we are starting our 5-month transformational mind renewal course, taking the 5 steps of radical mind renewal that I teach on and teaching it sequentially. It's really a powerful course. If you're looking for something to take this message deeper, then I suggest you check it out at ignitinghopeacademy.com, ignitinghopeacademy.com, the Transformational Mind Renewal Course. And then May 2nd and 3rd here in Redding, California. My wife, Wendy, and I were doing our annual Abounding Hope and Joy Conference 2-day event here in Redding. You can find that at Igniting Hope Academy as well. And then in September, I'm starting again the Backlund Leadership Academy, year number 2. We're doing it again. And so if you want information on that, again, ignitinghopeacademy.com. We've already got some good interest in that. It's limited. We're not going to take a lot of students, 40-ish, 50, around there is our plan. About a 6 to 8 hour commitment online. Again, details, ignitinghopeacademy.com. And I'm going to be I'll be in Pennsylvania at the end of April and May. I'll be in Concord, California in May, in Brazil and Australia in June. In August, I'll be in Lewiston, Idaho, New York City. If you ever have a chance, and I love it. I have people coming up all the time. Say, hey, Steve, I'm a podcast listener. I wanted to come up and say hi. I love that. Thank you for being a part of our family. You can go to ignitinghope.com. You can find a lot of free resources, declarations that we have there. And I love challenging people to do experiments. And one of the experiments that is life-changing is do 100 faith declarations a day, at least 100 for a month, and see what happens. You can go to our website, ignitinghope.com. You can find a lot of great things to declare, biblically based, biblical identity, Bible promise-based declarations. Woo-hoo! Hey, thanks so much for listening or watching this podcast on our YouTube, Igniting Hope YouTube channel. You already have it. I see some of you taking time after this podcast, or you're with a group and you're writing down the things that you believe you already have, or you know you have. Possessions, gifts, abilities, writing them down, putting faith to it. Yep, this is the key to the miracle. You don't need God to give you something else. You've got it. So we are here to ignite your hope. Hope is the belief that the future will be better than the present, and we have the power to help make it so. I believe after love, hope is the most powerful leadership, influential quality in our lives, in our homes, in our churches, in our businesses, in our cities, in our nations, and in the world. Our hope level determines our influence level, and he who has the most hope has the most influence. I too believe that the joy of the Lord is our strength. We don't need strength at the end of the battle. We need strength in the middle of the battle. I used to say, well, Lord, I'll be joyful when all my uncertainties are over. When I'm completely happy about me, I'm not frustrated with myself in any way. When all the people in my life are doing what I think they should be doing, I have all the money I need, and I'm only hearing good news in the media, then I'll be joyful. Now, he says, Steve, if you're not joyful now, the chances of you being joyful in the future are slim. Because your lack of joy is not a circumstantial issue. It's a you issue. It's a you issue. Thanks, Lord. Thank you for that encouragement. But I'll tell you this, when we pursue joy, when we're not passive about it, and we truly believe it's our strength and truly believe that it's good medicine. Proverbs 17:22 says, a merry heart A cheerful heart is good medicine. When we truly believe that it's a key for our emotional health, our physical health, and healthy relationships, then we're not passive. And once we go after it, then we realize, hey, to walk in biblical joy, we have to let go of a lot of things. We have to let go of perfectionism. We have to let go of impulsive decision making. We have to let go of unhealthy relational things. We have to let go of doing things our way, selfishness. Have to let go of being easily offended, of the victim mindset, of unworthiness and shame, disappointment, perfectionism. And pretty much for everybody listening right now, this is just not a good season to be radically joyful. I've never found a good season to be radically joyful. There's always a reason why now isn't the season. And last podcast I did I basically asked the question, should we be pessimistic? And the answer is no. And that's a good. But this is the opposite. And again, there's times of mourning, there's times of grief, there's times we get that. We weep with those who weep. But if we have a lifestyle that doesn't value joy, that doesn't pursue it, that doesn't find the keys of it, then we're going to miss out on a lot of strength and a lot of health that could have been ours. And there's two great ways to increase our joy. One's through thanksgiving. Focus more on how far we've come than how far we need to go. Focus more on what we have rather than what we think we don't have. And then the other one is delighting in the Lord. Psalm 37 verse 4 says, delight yourself in the Lord and he will give you the desires of your heart. The delighter in that verse is delighting with unfulfilled desires, things that he or she wants to see happen that haven't happened yet, called a desire. So the delighter is dealing with disappointment. Things not happening the way that he or she wanted them to happen. They haven't happened yet, but they're still delighting. The delighter is going, woohoo, Lord, I'm so excited. I don't know how you're going to do it, but you're going to do it. I can't wait to see what you're going to do. I can't wait to see how you're going to bring change. And the delighter is living while he or she is waiting. The delighter's living while they're waiting. That's what hope people do. Faith people have hope are living while they're waiting because they're not focused. They don't have all their eggs in one basket. They don't say, well, I can't really live until this prayer gets answered, until that family situation gets changed, until I get more favor, until the prophetic words the delighter is delighting while they're waiting. And they have the attitude, I'm going to thrive no matter what happens. I'm believing for this, but while I'm waiting for this to happen, I'm going to thrive. And even if that never happens, I'm going to thrive in life. My life is not dependent on certain things happening. The Apostle Paul, he said in Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And the verses before that, whether I'm abounding or abased, I've learned to be content. I've learned to be content. Whether I'm a millionaire in jail, I've learned I'll thrive either one. So we delight. Hey, just a few things that I'm hearing. I'm hearing the Lord is unlocking people's voices. I'm hearing that God's releasing grace on you to give him something to work with. Doesn't matter. Do that YouTube channel. Do the Facebook Live. Do something. It doesn't matter if one or two people are watching. It's more about your development. Get your message out. You don't need to be perfect in just serving a group of people. Serve a group of people. Or just do it in your house. Do a book reading club. I just see the Lord giving you ideas because Red Seas part. Our forward movement in life causes Red Seas to part. I'm also hearing that God is releasing peace in the night for people's dreams. There's an increase of breakthrough, of night terrors and things happening that there's on you. And if you're experiencing that, I'm also hearing that you have a grace to free other people from that. And God's going to give you great insights on the sources of that and the keys of freedom. I'm hearing that the Lord is releasing grace to self-prune. I've shared this before, but I want to share it again, that pruning plants helps them be more fruitful. The Lord prunes, but he also gives us wisdom on how to prune back certain things, prune back our belief systems, prune back some things that on our time, prune back old structures in our organization. All right, God bless. What a joy to be with you. You already have it. Blessings.